Hey, Colabcoaching yet again to share some wise words of wisdom for the week. It is a brand new series, brand new week. So excited to get into these 4 weeks of some amazing discussion. This topic is it's gonna be a hot one. It's gonna be something a little special, and it's definitely gonna be something that everyone can relate to, and that is your intimate relationships. Your intimate relationships. Without any further delay, the topic for this week is the myths. So the myths of your intimate relationships. The first myth I want to talk about is something that we see a lot. It might get a little controversial, and that is that the myth is that you need to tell everybody about your business in your intimate relationships. You need to disclose it on social media. You need to go tell everybody that you know. You need to go share every little detail about your intimate relationships. And I'm here to say no, 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 no. Please don't. Please don't do that. Now, granted, there are times when you should share things that are happening in your intimate relationships that you need help with, especially abuse of any type of form. And also, if you and your significant other are not meeting eye to eye in certain situations, get a counselor, get a coach, get a advisor, get someone to talk to, because those are the times you need to share what's going on in your relationships with other people. The other times, of course, it is your choice. It's your choice. I'm not here to tell you what to do, but I am here to say that sometimes you need to keep things to yourself. You don't need to broadcast when you or your significant other are in arguments, as you see on social media. You see a lot of celebrities do this. You don't need to broadcast every little thing, and even you don't need to broadcast every trip that you go to. You don't need to broadcast every single little thing if you don't want to. You don't have to compete with the Joneses. You don't have to compete with the people across the street. That's an old saying. Some people may know it, some people don't. But the fact of the matter is that you don't need to broadcast every single thing when it comes to your relationship. Some things are meant to be private, and it's okay to be private. Of course, as I said, if it's a situation where it does not need to be private, please be very vocal about that. Another thing is that when it comes to your intimate relationships, the myth is that you are to blame when it comes to your intimate relationships not working out. You and just you alone. You are the person to blame. You are the person that caused the downfall. You're the person that messed everything up. You're the person that can't keep a good intimate relationship together. That's not true. Somewhere. Now, if you have situations where people have been open and honest with you about things that you need to work on, maybe your personality, maybe your habits, maybe the things that you are used to, maybe the expectations that you have are maybe just too great. Those are the times where you need to go and reevaluate with yourself. As I said before, go to a counselor, go to a coach, go to someone you could talk to when it comes to those type of situations. Go to someone that you could talk to when it comes to loving yourself, like myself. But if it's a situation where you've done everything you could, you put all the energy, the time into the relationship, and you know that significant other is not in it. That person may have cheated on you, and maybe they're gaslighting you, maybe they're trying to just keep you around. Maybe it's a situation where you've put everything that you could into the relationship and you still don't feel fulfilled. You still feel like this is not the right person for me. Then you need to step out that intimate relationship and end it. Don't just step out and cheat. Step out and end it, because you are, in a sense, wasting your time. Not to say that the relationship was a waste of time. You're wasting your time currently because there's nothing fulfilling in that relationship. So you are not to blame solely if it comes down to you putting everything you can in a relationship and that person is not reciprocating it. But you are to blame if you know you need some things to work on and you stepped in a relationship when you were not ready. Finally, another one of the myths. There's a lot of myths that we could talk about now. There's a lot of myths. But the last one I want to talk about when it comes to myths of your intimate relationships, and that's the fact that you cannot keep an intimate relationship. It's not worth it. Why waste your time? You might as well be single. Nobody has successful intimate relationships out there. Contrary to belief, there are successful relationships out there. There are successful people having successful relationships, and they're long lasting. what is broadcast a lot on social media, broadcast a lot in our society, is the people that get divorces. Yes, there's a high 60%, 50%, depending on what study you look at, of failures in relationships. But you don't talk about those other 40% or 50% that are thriving, that are having successful relationships. Not to say that they're perfect. Don't want to confuse anybody. But at least they're thriving and they're working on those relationships. Let's take some time to focus on those people. The myth is that there's no successful relationships out there. There are. You just have to take more time and look for them, because they're not going to be broadcast because they're busy being successful. So simple as that. Make sure you're not blinded by the fact that you may have had bad relationships in the past. You may have had unsuccessful relationships in the past, but that does not mean that they cannot be successful going forward. Remember, it's okay to find people who you can not imitate but emulate, meaning that you can see the traits that they're doing that will help you in your current relationships or future relationships, to help you understand that there are successful relationships as long as you have successful disciplines. And I'll get into more into those details, especially when it comes to the mistakes people make. But you have to remember that, please, there are successful relationships out there. Don't let people drive you in the wrong direction thinking that you need to be single for the rest of your life if you don't want to. There are people who are happily single and want to be single. Shout out to them. But if you know that you are not those people that want to be in that category, remember, there are successful relationships out there. Just search a little bit more. Please search a little bit more. So to make this as simple as possible, the myths people make when it comes to intimate relationships. Number one is that they think that intimate relationships have to be broadcast to everyone. Every single detail, every single situation. No, 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 no. Just because people on social media are doing it doesn't mean you need to. Some things are meant to be private. And the only times that you should broadcast things in your intimate relationships is either if you want to share it because you're happy and that's your choice, or that you need to get help, whether it's abuse or something going on in your relationships. Go to a counselor, go to a coach, go to someone that can help you with these situations. The second thing is that you are solely to blame when it comes to your intimate relationships not working out. That is not true at all. Somewhat. Now, if you are the type of person that needs to work on themselves, their personality, they need to work on loving themselves more, they need to work on being a better person, yes, you are to blame. But if you are the type of person that has been working on this relationship with your significant other, doing everything you can to make it a successful relationship, and that person is not working with you or is not helping you, maybe gaslighting you, maybe lying to you, maybe cheating on you, then you know that it's them that needs the blame. So it's not solely on you. Take a deep breath and let it out. And finally, the last thing is that intimate relationships don't work. They're not successful. Stay single. That's not true at all. There are positive relationships, despite the statistics that 60 to 50% of people end up in divorce. There are 40 to 50% of people that are having successful relationships. Find those people, do more research, and not copy them, but emulate them so that you can create those traits that you want in your future relationship, and to have those disciplines that you need to have a successful relationship going forward. Simple as that. So if you're struggling with any of these myths, any of them, message me. I'm a coach. I focus and talk about intimate relationships, especially with yourself. So message me, go to my website, yourcolabcoach.com, fill out that relationship checklist, sign up for that free 15-minute coaching session. Facebook Colab Coaching, Instagram Colab Coaching. All my series and my videos are on YouTube, COLAB Coaching. You can email me as well, colabcoaching@gmail.com. Finally, I wrote an amazing book, Fresh Eyes Solve Problems Easier, the Self-Love Relationship Project. It's on Amazon, Barnes and Nobles. You could read it as an ebook. You could listen to it as an audio book. Just Google my name and then the title of the book, and you'll find me. With that being said, share this with anyone that is struggling with their intimate relationships, especially with those myths that I talked about. And be safe out there. Have a wonderful day. Bye.